Hey guys, so today I'm going to go over my guitar collection, specifically my electric guitar collection. I already did a video actually going over my whole guitar history and everything, but currently I have about 6 electric guitars. I think they're all pretty unique and cool, so I just kind of want to talk about them, and then maybe I'll do a demo at the end utilizing all the guitars. Just something I like to do. Talk about my guitars. It's one of my biggest hobbies. So I'm going to start out with my oldest guitar, and really the one that's been the most sentimental to me. This is the Fender Stratocaster. Everyone who's into electric guitars would probably know what the Fender Stratocaster is. Probably the most famous electric guitar shape and model of all time. It's been copied numerous times by numerous manufacturers. But let's just say it's an iconic guitar design. So originally came out in the 50s, 1954. And this particular model is from 2009. When I got this is the Fender Roadworn 60s model. I think the major difference between the 60s and the 50s model was mainly the different finishes and necks, basically. So the 60s version came with a rosewood neck, and it came with a 3-tone sunburst, whereas the 50s version came with a maple neck and a 2-tone sunburst. So yeah, this is originally the body is from a Fender Roadworn 60s Stratocaster, which is an alder body and a 3-tone sunburst finish. Because it's a Roadworn model, you guys can see that it's relict. So relicking means that it's designed to simulate the wear and tear of electric guitar that's been through a lot of stuff. So actually what's cool about it is that it came with some of this, and then I added some of my own as well, because I used this guitar for a long time. I got this in 2009, right? So it's been quite a long time since for me to use this guitar. It's been the oldest guitar I've had in my collection for a while. Many years where this was the only guitar I ever used. So it's been through a lot, actually. Played this guitar quite a bit. So yeah, it's got nitrocellulose lacquer, which allows the wood to naturally age. So you guys can take a look. There is a lot of dings, actually. Dings and cracks and stuff on this guitar. Some of it came with the model because it's the Roadworn model, but some of it I made myself as well. So I can tell you guys that this part right here, the upper horn, is something I made myself. This did not come with the Roadworn model. This is a part of a natural wear and tear as I played this guitar. This part did come with the Roadworn model though, so this part is not it just came from the factory like this because of the Roadworn. So it's designed to be relict. So it's essentially a relic Stratocaster. So this came from the factory like this. This came naturally when I was playing it. So you guys can see some of the other dings and dents on this guitar. Even at the bottom here, you guys can see that. And then on the sides here, this back side here, yeah, this part of this came, this part I think came naturally, but then this part of it came factory from the guitar. So some of it's completely blended in like that. At the back, you guys can see that, yeah, a lot of these dents and stuff came from the factory like this. This part down here basically, and right here, that came from the factory like that. So yeah, that's just part of the relicking done by Fender. This part came naturally. This part right here rubbed off naturally. So that came when I was just playing the guitar. Yeah, you can see a lot of dings and dents here. But it really adds to the charm of this guitar, you know. I know I played it for such a long time where it's just, yeah, this has shown some natural aging to it. So yeah, pretty cool actually. This part as well. This part back here, and this part here is all naturally done by me. So that's pretty cool. What else? It's a fairly light guitar because it's a Stratocaster, so it's about 7.5 pounds. I've changed out a lot of stuff on this guitar, so we can go over it. So the neck actually, so this is a rosewood neck, Indian rosewood I believe. Tuners have been changed out and everything, but just to go over the relic stuff again, the back of the neck. So this neck is actually not from the original Roadworn Strat is from an American Fender American Fender Stratocaster. So the Roadworn actually was not American built. It's actually Mexican built back in 2009. But then I switched out the neck for an American standard Strat neck because I felt like the 7.25-inch radius that came with the 60s Roadworn, I didn't like it. It was just too curved for me. I wanted something a little bit more modern. So I bought an American standard Strat neck, which is about 9.5 radius and 9.5-inch radius, and I just stuck it on here. So I've had it. I've had this radius on this guitar pretty much ever since, like, basically since I bought it. Like I didn't like the neck on it. I think I only played it for like a few months before I changed it out for a 9.5-inch radius American standard and the Strat neck. So, anyways, this neck has been on this guitar for most of its life. It's not the original neck that came with the guitar, but it's been on it for pretty much most of the time. So yeah, it's you guys can see that this one says made in the USA because it's from the American Standard Strat, but I prefer the 9.5-inch radius. And yeah, this came with Indian rosewood fingerboard right here, which has been very worn. And this is not relic from the factory. Keep that in mind. This is all naturally done by me. So you see that's worn. That all this wear and tear on the back of the neck is all done by me, because this neck was not relic. This is from an American Standard Strat. This is not from the Roadworn. So this neck wear and tear is just all done by me. So a lot of things I changed out on this guitar. So originally this guitar I think cost about $900 US when it came out. I ended up spending a lot more on it because I like to tinker around with stuff and change stuff around. So the tuners here, let's just go from the front of the guitar, the top of the guitar here. So the tuners have been changed out. So these tuners are Fender Schaller locking tuners. So originally it did not come with locking tuners, it just came with the standard tuners. I like locking tuners because it's easier for me to change strings. And it's also easier to help keep in tune, so I changed out the tuners for Fender Schaller locking tuners. The nut has been changed out. It used to be just a typical bone nut. I changed it out to a Graphtec Tusk nut. So this one is a synthetic type of nut, but I think it adds to the tuning and the tone of the guitar. I like Tusk nuts. I know bone nut is more vintage, but yeah, I like the Tusk nuts a lot. So I have this Graphtec Tusk nut. I had to basically file down some of this in order to put this in, but Graphtec Tusk nut here works pretty well. And then yeah, the neck, like I said, is not original to the guitar. Then the pickguard, as you guys can see, is kind of a special pickguard. So this is not original to the guitar, of course. This has a special graphic on it. This is from the Jimi Hendrix Monterey Stratocaster. And not just the latest Monterey Stratocasters, mind you. This is from a special edition of the Monterey Stratocasters, which was available, I think, is it the late 90s or something like that, or the early 2000s? Anyways, John Mayer has a version of the actual Monterey Stratocaster, but this particular pickguard is from the limited run of Jimi Hendrix Monterey Stratocasters that was done, I think, either in the late 90s or early 2000s, and it's a special pickguard from that run, because if you buy a Jimi Hendrix Monterey Strat now, it's going to actually have a different looking pickguard. Like, these are actually colored quite a little bit differently, but the one that's colored all blue like this is from the early 2000s version, I think. So it's a very limited run, very expensive. I could never buy it. John Mayer obviously could. But yeah, this is just the pickguard from the Jimi Hendrix Monterey Strat from the limited edition of that run. The pickups are, these are custom pickups. They're hand wound by a guy named Aaron, and he runs a website called Rumpelstiltskin Pickups, and his own company, Rumpelstiltskin Pickups. And he hand wound this to my specifications back in 2010. So I asked for these specs, and the neck pickup is just to give you the specs of these pickups. So they're Strat pickups, of course, but the neck pickup is Alnico 3 magnets, and it's wound to about 5.8K using heavy form bar wire. All of these are actually using heavy form bar wire. That's the 50s wire. The 60s wire is plain enamel, but I used all 50s heavy form bar wire for all these. But yeah, these are wound to about 5.8K Alnico 3 magnets. The middle's about wound to about 5.8K by Alnico 5 magnets. And the bridge is wound to 6.3K, a little bit hotter with Alnico 5 magnets. So yeah, that's my custom specs. 5.8 Alnico 3, 5.8 Alnico 5, 6.3 Alnico 5, all have heavy form bar. So yeah, that's my, he rounded to my specs, and yeah, I like it. I had these pickups in this guitar since 2010, so I've had it for quite a long time, all hand wound by Aaron from Virginia, from Rumpelstiltskin Guitars. Very cool. So yeah, and also, the saddles as well has been changed. So the saddles here are KTS titanium saddles. So yeah, they're actually using titanium. So it's by a Japanese guitar parts maker called KTS. They specialize in different saddles. These are vintage looking saddles, but they're actually made of titanium, which they said increases the tonal transfer and everything. So it enhances the tone. And you know, like a lot of guitarists, I'm all about the tone. So I did a lot of things to this guitar to try to enhance the tone. If you look at the back of the guitar, these are raw vintage springs. The reason why I needed special tremolo springs is because the formulations of the vintage springs are a little bit different. The newer strings that you get with a modern guitar, the tension is a little bit too high on those. So you're not gonna be able to put 5 springs in, and you can't really do it. Yeah, you can't make much movement with the modern springs. But this one, you guys can see. This one I can move all 5. Yeah, I have all 5 springs in, and I can still move the tremolo block. Right? With the modern springs, you can't do that. They just have way too much tension. But with these raw vintage springs, they have vintage formulations of the springs, so you're able to put 5 in. You can still move all 5 of them, so it increases sustain and everything. Also, this tremolo block is a brass tremolo block, and this claw up here is called a killer claw. They're both from Killer Guitar Components. They're from KGC. So yeah, both the claw here and the tremolo block are from the company called Killer Guitar Components, which makes special brass components for Stratocasters. So yeah, both of these cost quite a bit actually. I spent quite a bit of money to add stuff to this guitar. But yeah, both the tremolo claw and the tremolo block are brass, and they're special formulations of brass by Killer Guitar Components meant to enhance the resonant tone of the guitar. And I'm not going to use any kind of back plate, of course. That deadens the tone a bit. So I don't have any back plate. Neither do a lot of other guitarists that play Strats. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's a lot of enhancements I did to this guitar, basically. This guitar has been with me for such a long time. So yeah, I added all these enhancements, I think, back in 2020. And I haven't played it as much since 2020 because I had some other guitars since then. But yeah, basically I would say from 2009 all the way to 2020, this was the main guitar I played by far. After 2020, I started playing my other guitars like my Duesenberg, my G&L more, but definitely up until 2020, this was absolutely my main guitar. And yeah, it still sounds great, and I'm always going to keep this guitar because it's a sentimental thing, right? I've had this for such a long time, and yeah, I'm always going to keep it. It's just I always want to have a Fender Strat. Yeah, I always love to have the single coil sound. There's all these newer pickups and stuff like that, but there's something special about the Fender single coils, right? Just the Stratocaster single coils. There's just something special about the sound of this, and just so low output. I think, yeah, they're probably among the lowest output pickups that you can get on a guitar usually. Like on a mass-produced guitar, I think the Rickenbacker toaster pickups might be a little bit lower output, but yeah, out of all the mass-produced electric guitars you can get on the market, the Stratocaster single coils is some of the lowest output pickups you can get on the market, which also is kind of a good thing because it can really enhance the dynamics and clarity of the sound. So that makes Stratocaster unique. Stratocaster pickups really unique. So anyways, Fender Stratocaster. It's really kind of a Frankenstein guitar. It's a bunch of upgraded components on it. Yeah, 60s Roadworn body with the Fender American standard neck. But anyways, that's my most sentimental guitar, is the Fender Strat. Okay, so the next guitar that I still have chronologically is yeah, like I had a bunch of other guitars after my Fender Strat, of course, like the Gretsch White Penguin notably. But yeah, I sold that one, and currently this is the next guitar that I still have chronologically is the Duesenberg Joe Walsh Alliance. Yeah, I think what strikes me about this guitar first is how lightweight it is. It doesn't look like it's light, but it is light. It's about, yeah, I think roughly a little bit lighter than my Stratocaster, so it's a little bit less than 7.5 pounds. But anyways, pretty dang light, also very slim as well. Duesenberg is a German company, by the way. As you guys don't know, a lot of conversation on the internet about where these are actually made, but as far as I know, they are assembled in Germany. And that's, I don't really care too much about it because these are really, really amazing looking guitars, really well built, and they sound amazing, they play amazing. The reason why I got this guitar, and I got this in 2020, is because I wanted to have a nice double cutaway guitar, and this is a double cutaway. Makes it easy to access, you know, both ends of the fretboard, and yeah, this just looked really nice, really cool. I wanted to get a guitar kind of like my Gretsch again, and this is really like, people think of Duesenberg as kind of just like, it's Gretsch but even more Art Deco-ish. So it's like an Art Deco take on Gretsch. So yeah, I guess, see, the Joe Walsh Alliance model is really kind of special. The reason I went for the Joe Walsh Alliance model in particular, not because I'm particularly a fan of Joe Walsh or anything, but it's because of how unique the guitar is. So first of all, it's a double cutaway, but also has these really unique pickups here and this mix of gold and nickel hardware, which is really cool as well. So let's go over the specs of this guitar. I did not upgrade this guitar at all because I didn't need to. It came with a lot of good hardware already. So this got a spruce top, and spruce is not commonly known as a, like, used as a wood. Forgot to mention, but my Fender Stratocaster comes, this was a standard alder, you know, the wood is alder, and that's what Fender has used for a very long time for Stratocasters. So that's a typical wood for Stratocasters. But Duesenberg uses spruce, and I think it's because spruce is a traditional German wood, but also spruce is usually used in acoustic guitars, not so much on electric. But this one uses spruce for the top wood, and I believe for the back is flamed maple. So it is flamed, if you guys can see that. It looks like a sunburst, but it's actually a flamed. Yeah. So it's not technically a sunburst. It's like a flame maple top here. And then you got the Indian rosewood fretboard. So it's still rosewood, just like my Strat. But yeah, the spruce top is unique to Duesenberg. What else I really like about it? There's the headstock, looks really cool, right? Very Art Deco design. But they also have their own locking tuners. So there's a Duesenberg Z tuners right here. It's their own locking tuners. I didn't need to put aftermarket locking tuners on here because they already had their own locking tuners. And Duesenberg, what I respect about them is they don't use any third-party hardware. All their hardware is done by them in-house. So that's pretty cool. I really like this tremolo. This is a deluxe tremolo, a vibrola tremolo or something. But anyways, this is a great tremolo. It's probably my favorite. I like it better than the Stratocaster tremolo, actually. And this is also a big upgrade over the Bigsby tremolo as well. So it looks a little bit similar to a Bigsby, but it's less clunky than a Bigsby. Like a Bigsby, you cannot move it up and down all too much. It's a very clunky tremolo system. This one, you can actually move it up and down a lot. So it's got a lot of leeway here. You can just put this thing 360 degrees. You can rotate it if you want to. This is very convenient. So yeah, I really like this tremolo, this deluxe vibrola tremolo or something, radiator tremolo, I think. Yeah, I mean, it's called a radiator tremolo. And yeah, this is a really cool, my favorite tremolo on any of the guitars that I own. Just so easy to move it up and down. So I love that. Even the pickup selector knob, you know, you guys can see it's done in the Art Deco style. Everything's like nickel, which is kind of the vintage style. Even the output jack is done in kind of Art Deco style, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so I love the Art Deco design. And yeah, this is like little touches like this, tips of the knobs and everything. Love the Art Deco design. Semi-hollow as well. And the pickups. So let's discuss the pickups. The neck pickup, these are very unique pickups. So these are Duesenberg pickups. So Duesenberg makes their own pickups just like everything else. This is a noiseless single coil pickup. It's called a single twin mini. So it's a noiseless single coil. As far as I know, it doesn't seem to sound like bad or anything like that. So noiseless single coils seem to get a bad reputation. I think people think of the Fender vintage noiseless single coils, which are not, kind of like sterile, lifeless sounding. These single coil, the single twin mini, yeah, this one still like sounds pretty good in my opinion. It still has some life to it. So yeah, it's a noiseless single coil, but it still sounds pretty good to my ears. And then you got the little toaster. They call this the little toaster pickup. It's essentially Duesenberg's take on the mini humbucker. So it looks like a Filtertron. It's not a Filtertron. It's actually a mini humbucker. So yeah, essentially you got a noiseless single coil paired with a mini humbucker, and that's a pretty unique combination. So anyways, I love the guitar here. This is a 12-inch radius, very fast playing neck. This is still the fastest guitar I think for me to play. Like if I ever want to rip out a solo or anything, or do some like Van Halen type shredding and stuff, I would do it on this guitar because this is just so easy, comfortable to play. So like the Fender Strat, sure I can do a lot of stuff with it, but the Duesenberg I can do more actually. It's got a faster neck, a flatter neck. I can do more soloing on it, and this tremolo is or vibrola is, yeah, it's crazy. It does more than a Fender Stratocaster tremolo. So yeah, this is really my go-to guitar when I want to shred or do something fast. So yeah, the Duesenberg Joe Walsh Alliance. What a great guitar. And forgot the prices for that. Like I said, my Roadworn Strat, $900. With all the upgrades after that, it's probably like $1,200, $1,300. With the Duesenberg, I paid $2,200 for this, but I believe it goes brand new for over $3,000. So yeah, like for the brand new, I think this was like over $3,000, but I got it for $2,200 during COVID. Actually, right when COVID started, I got this guitar. I think it actually went up in price after COVID. Right, so here's the back of the guitar. So this is not actually sunburst. It looks like a sunburst, and the actual color is called gold burst. But actually, the back is a flamed maple back. So you guys maybe can see here, flame maple back here, and the maple neck. But yeah, it looks like a sunburst, but the technical color is not sunburst. It's a gold burst spruce top with a flamed maple back right here, so that looks really nice. Yeah, and pretty thin, as you guys can see, and flame maple sides as well. Okay, so the next guitar chronologically I got is the G&L ASAT Special. So I got this in 2021, early 2021, for $1,400. This is a US made G&L guitar, and for those of you guys who don't know, G&L is an American guitar company. They're essentially, they're the last guitar company that Leo Fender, the founder of Fender Guitars, started. And supposedly he put all his best improvements, all the knowledge that he built, he put all that into the G&L brand. And this really was one of the last guitars that Leo Fender designed before he died. So really a special piece of guitar history, in fact. The Comanche, I believe, is the other model. So the ASAT Special and the Comanche, this is the last single cutaway model that Leo Fender designed, and the Comanche is the last double cutaway model, and last model, I think, before he passed away. But anyways, what I really like about this one is, so this is basically like almost like a custom guitar. It's like, so this is made in the US. First of all, yeah, it's made in the US, and with G&L, because they're a smaller company, their guitars are made more to like a custom spec, especially the US made guitars. And this one, you cannot really find it very easily, this model, because it's a cherry sunburst. So it's a cherry sunburst, and it's also a thin line. So you guys can see this, a semi-hollow thin line with a bird's eye maple neck. So it's not really a standard model that G&L sells. This is more like a custom USA model that this guy ordered from G&L, and then he sold it secondhand to me. So really a custom type of guitar, which is really cool. It's basically like a Fender custom shop level of quality. It's a really beautiful guitar. So, you know, I love cherry sunburst. I was actually looking for cherry sunburst as a kind of replacement for my custom parts caster guitar that I made years ago when I was in San Francisco. This to me was the guitar I actually really wanted to get. So yeah, really beautiful. So look at the back here, beautiful cherry sunburst here. And tuners are just stock G&L tuners. I didn't change anything on this guitar, so stock G&L tuners right here. And you guys can see the neck here, right? It is a figured birdseye maple neck. So it is definitely pretty high quality neck here. It's very figured. So really nice. 9.5 inch radius on the neck here. So it's pretty slim, easy to play. Fairly light as well. I would say it weighs about the same as my Stratocaster. Three-way switch, because it's essentially based, the ASAT is basically based on the Telecaster, right? It's obviously Telecaster inspired. But hey, if anything's allowed, if anyone's allowed to do that, it's Leo Fender, because he created the Telecaster too. So a few things about this guitar in terms of it's got great build quality, fit and finish. It's custom Fender custom shot level basically. What I have to talk about in terms of technology, two things actually. Pickups is the one thing. So these are using the special magnetic field design pickups, which are pickups that Leo Fender designed. And these ones are the jumbo size versions, which only these are only on the ASAT Special model that I have here. So essentially these look like P90 versions of the magnetic field design pickups. So you got the very wide looking bobbins here, all individually adjustable pull pieces. Very unique sound because it sounds like higher output, almost like a modern pickup basically, very hi-fi modern output. Without as much noise, even though these are not really humbucking, but they have less noise than your typical single coil pickups do. And they have a lot of power actually, a lot of power and a lot of clarity. Definitely I would say, like, compared to P90s, they're almost like P90s, but they have more clarity than P90s do, more punch. P90s sound a little bit darker and warmer, but these ones sound brighter and have more punch to them. So yeah, very unique pickups, jumbo sized magnetic field design pickups. Saddle lock bridge, this is the other cool, interesting technology. Saddle lock bridge basically enhances the string transfer between the saddles and the strings in the body. It's a top loading bridge, so you guys see top loading. That means there is no holes on the back. Some Telecasters you might see holes on the back. No holes on the back here. They're all top loading through here, and that enhances the tonal transfer and sustain and stuff. So that's the two innovations here. Saddle lock bridge with the jumbo sized magnetic field design pickups. So yeah, G&L ASAT Special. This is my only maple neck guitar. So I don't really have, I generally prefer rosewood, but it's nice to have a nice figured bird's eye maple neck. So anyways, yeah, this is chronologically the next guitar that I bought, and really beautiful guitar also. So G&L ASAT Special. Okay, next guitar I got is the Gretsch Electromatic Center Block Junior. And this is a really beautiful guitar. I knew when I saw it I had to pick it up. I just love this. It's a quilted maple top in this blue burst color. So that's really, really cool. And it came with some gold hardware, and I actually modified this guitar quite a bit. I changed out pretty much almost everything on this guitar. I changed out because originally it did not come with full gold hardware. Like, only the pickup covers were gold, and this pickguard was gold, and that was it. The rest of the guitar was not gold. It was like chrome, I think, and I got kind of like upset about that. I was like, and the other models in the range, they all had everything in gold. So I was like, why wasn't everything in gold for this model? So anyways, I basically had to buy custom gold hardware for everything and then change it out myself. So originally this guitar cost like $1,000 US, because this is not like a high-end Gretsch guitar. The Electromatic model is like Gretsch's like more affordable guitars, and they're made in China. But still looks really good, still built well, looks really good. Of course it's not as high-end as Gretsch's made in Japan models. And it's not my first Gretsch guitar. I've had the Gretsch White Penguin before. That was a made in Japan model. So yeah, but anyways, this is a really beautiful guitar. I changed out all the hardware to gold. And so that's everything from the knobs, knobs and pickups. These are custom pickups by TV Jones. Originally they came with the Gretsch pickups, which were like black top Filtertron pickups, which I didn't like. Changed them out. And then the Bigsby, even, like this Bigsby before was not gold. I had to change out the Bigsby into a gold version. And even this pickup selector switch knob, I changed it to gold. Yeah, the strap lock knobs, I changed that all to gold right here, see? So that's all been changed to gold. The tuners I changed to gold. Yeah, so these are gold tuners I changed out. Yeah, pretty much almost everything I changed out to gold. So quite a few upgrades I did to this guitar. In the end, it cost me like maybe 1,300, like 1,300 total for this guitar. It's like a $300 upgrade. That's not well. I bought this for 800 bucks. It retails for 1,000. So, including the cost of the pickups and everything else, yeah, 1,300. So it's like a $500 upgrade because the pickups itself is like these ones are like 300 bucks. So these pickups are TV Jones Duotron pickups, which are pretty unique. As you guys can see, there's like a blade on the side and like the pull pieces on this side. It's like reversed for the neck and the bridge. Pretty cool pickups. They're like medium output. They're not as high output as a PAF Gibson humbucker, but they're slightly higher output than a classic Filtertron. So pretty unique pickups. This is a pretty light guitar. I think it weighs around 7 pounds, honestly. Fairly light. It's a semi-hollow chambered guitar. It's crafted in China, as you can see here, the back, so that's part of the reason why it's a little bit cheaper. But still well built and everything. I just love the weight of this guitar. It's definitely lighter than I expected. 3-way switch selector here. You know, for Gretches you always have the master volume, and then you got the individual neck and bridge pickup volumes, as well as the tone control. Bigsby, which, like I said, with my Duesenberg, right? I said like that's just a better tremolo than the Bigsby. So I'm not like particularly a huge fan of the Bigsby. I actually don't really like the Bigsby. It's just for most Gretsch models they put Bigsbys on them. So I mean, I would actually prefer this have a V-tail piece. If it had a V-tail piece, that would actually be better. But this one came with a Bigsby, so I had to replace it with a Bigsby, a gold one, I guess. So yeah, just to make it look more uniform with the rest of the guitar. So yeah, Bigsby, like you can't raise it up and down too much. This is like the most you can do with it. Just a little bit of vibrato like this. So it's huge. Like that's the thing. Like you can't even do that much with it. You can only like do a little bit of a wiggle with it, and that's it. And it's huge. It takes up so much space on the guitar. So yeah, I don't like the Bigsby, man. Like it looks so clunky and it doesn't even do that much. But anyways, that's what it is. It is what it is. Bigsby's are popular in Gretches. Yeah, Duotron pickups, which cost 300 bucks, standalone. Put those in. These are a pain in the ass to put in, by the way, because this is a semi-hollow. So basically, I had to thread the pots and everything through the hole, and like, oh my god, it took hours and hours to do that. So that was a lot of pain. But yeah, changed out pickups in this guitar. So yeah, this is a there's a quilted maple top and quilted maple top, sides, yeah, input jack here, and the back. So all in all, pretty beautiful looking guitar. I love this blue and gold combination. Amazing looking. Yep. So the fingerboard's interesting. It's not actually rosewood, it's laurel. So laurel looks a little bit similar to rosewood, but it's not quite as dark as rosewood. It's a little bit lighter than rosewood, but it's a laurel fingerboard. I think this is also a 12-inch radius neck. This one, the only thing is it's a little bit chunkier. So this neck is a little bit chunkier to use. It's definitely not as fast as my Duesenberg neck, or even my Fender neck. But yeah, a little bit of a chunkier neck. Otherwise, it's nice. It's a nice neck. It's just a little bit chunky. That's really the only complaint I have about this guitar. Is the neck, I think, is a little bit chunky, but otherwise, beautiful looking guitar. Yeah. And I did spend a lot of time upgrading stuff on it. Like all the hardware was changed out for gold. The pickup change took a long time. So yeah, I spent a lot of time to upgrade this guitar. But anyways, looks really beautiful. I'm probably one of the only ones who has a model like this with all gold hardware and everything. So because it comes normally with nickel hardware, and only the pickguard and the pickup covers are gold. But I swapped the rest out for gold. So that's a custom thing. So anyways, the Gretsch Electromatic Center Block Junior. I got this last year. Oh, so the full name of this model is the Electromatic Center Block Junior Quilted Maple Single Cut Hudson Sky. So yeah, that's a full name. So if you guys want to know the color and the model of this, yeah, it's this blue burst finish with the quilted maple. You can see really beautiful here. Quilted maple and blue burst is actually Hudson Sky. That's the name of the finish, and single cut because obviously it's a single cut model. So, and quilted maple, because yeah, it's quilted maple. So, okay, so next up is a guitar I got fairly recently this year, and this is the Godin 5th Avenue Thin Line. This is an extremely light guitar. I mean, I'm really surprised how light this is. This is like 5.5 pounds. It's crazy light. I mean, I can easily just hold it with one hand like this. And that's because it's a fully hollow guitar. So it looks like actually a semi-hollow, but it's not a semi-hollow. It's a fully hollow guitar. So it's different than all the other semi-hollow guitars you guys saw. Those are chambered, but this one's actually fully hollow. Yeah. Like you can even, it's so hollow, you can hear it acoustically. Yeah. The fact that you can hear it acoustically, yeah, it's pretty much hollow. Yeah, so this is Godin. Godin is a Canadian guitar company. It's my first guitar I got from them. This is all made in Canada, by the way. It costs about $1,600 US, so it's not cheap, but hey, it is crafted in Canada, and it's a really beautiful looking guitar. So see how beautiful it is. Yeah. So what's special about this guitar? When I first saw it, I was like, I gotta have this guitar. It looks amazing, and it's got these gold foil pickups. It's so to go over the specs of this guitar. So this guitar is unique because first of all, yeah, it's extremely light and it's pretty thin as well. You guys can see. Fully hollow. My first fully hollow guitar, electric guitar that is, and the wood is interesting. So everything I believe is. Yeah, so this is like all Canadian wild cherrywood. So yeah, see the top here, wild Canadian cherrywood. Sides, wild Canadian cherrywood. And input jack here. Back, wild Canadian cherrywood. So yeah, the sides here. Amazing, right? And the neck too. See, the neck is not even uniform. You can see a little bit of brighter stuff here. So yeah, wild Canadian cherrywood. Not a common wood to use for a guitar, but that's really interesting. It looks big, but at least it's pretty light, actually. I think it's probably the biggest guitar I have in terms of the size physically, but it's actually the lightest electric guitar I have as well. Pretty simple to operate, right? Just one volume, one tone control knob, and a pickup selector switch. I think the tailpiece is pretty unique as well. Cool tailpiece, but the pickups are interesting. They're Lollar gold foil pickups, which I've had experience with. These pickups would cost $400 separately if you buy them by itself, but on this guitar it comes factory fitted with them. So I found that interesting. This is a $1,600 guitar, but it comes with $400 pickups factory fitted on it. So that was a value proposition for me, I guess. Yeah, Lollar gold foil is the nicest pickups. These are single coil pickups. They sound pretty nice. Like they got a lot of clarity, got a punch, dynamics. They don't have the darkness of a P90. Yeah, they actually remind me pretty much the most of Dynasonics, but they're its own thing. So anyways, I had Lollar gold foil pickups before in the past. I had positive experiences with them. So when I saw Lollar gold foils factory fitted onto this guitar, I was like, yeah, I gotta try it out on this guitar. I gotta try this guitar because it already comes factory fitted with them. So yeah, in this P90 type of mount, I guess. So anyways, yeah, the Lollar gold foil pickups, really beautiful sounding pickups. Also looks extremely cool, right? Especially on a guitar like this. The neck here, this is an ebony neck actually. So ebony is just is the darkest wood you usually find on the necks here. So the fretboard, right, you usually find like rosewood, which is pretty dark, but ebony is actually usually the darkest. Looks almost black. So yeah, nice ebony neck here. It's very like nice, easy to play. I believe that this is what? So like 12. No, actually this is higher than that. Maybe it's like 14-inch radius, but it's pretty flat. It's like 14-inch radius, 16-inch radius neck. It's a pretty flat neck. So yeah, you can play it even acoustically because it's completely hollow. Tuners are by Godin themselves. They use their own proprietary tuners. But yeah, otherwise, pretty nice guitar. Don't have too many complaints about it other than that it's a little bit big. But yeah, and I guess because it's so light, it almost feels like it's cheap, but it's not cheap. It's, you know, obviously handcrafted in Canada, made with premium materials and everything and wood. So it's you know, highly figured Canadian wild cherrywood, that's amazing. Lollar gold foil pickups, that's premium. Ebony fretboard, that's premium. Everything, like the materials and everything on the guitar is premium. It just like, it's so light that it feels like it's cheap, but it's not. So that's the, I guess, the downside of feeling being so light. Strap locks right here and here at the bottom here. Yep. Overall, really beautiful looking guitar by Godin. Godin 5th Avenue thin line. My first Godin guitar. Really well built and crafted. It's actually crafted in Quebec, Canada. Love the pickups. Love the wood and the figuring of the wood and everything. Very beautiful looking guitar. So, anyways, yeah, Godin 5th Avenue thin line. So yeah, it's my first hollow guitar. Yeah, and I just love that it comes with these gold foil pickups and this highly figured Canadian wild cherrywood. That's pretty cool. Alright, the last guitar I got in my collection is arguably the most expensive and valuable guitar that I have in my electric guitar collection here, and that is the Yamaha Revstar Professional RSP20 in this beautiful moonlight blue finish. So this finish is called Moonlight Blue. And that's really the reason I went for the professional version, because Yamaha guitars has been known to provide really good value for their standard line of Revstar guitars. And yeah, like honestly, like there's been a lot of YouTube videos comparing the standard to professional. There isn't too much difference. Yes, the professional is made in Japan, and they have a few extras like the carbon fiber rods in the body here and the acoustic resonance treatment thing. But that's not like a huge deal. Like the standard guitars are the better value. I got the professional version because it has this beautiful moonlight blue color. That's what I wanted. That wasn't available in the standard version. Anyways, this cost me a lot of money, $2,000 US is how much I paid for this, but I actually paid more because I actually switched out the pickups to these TV Jones Zoomtron pickups. So yeah, so that's another $400 on top of that. So yeah, I put a lot of money into this one, but hey, this is probably, this and the Duesenberg are my fastest playing guitars. Like it just, this neck feels so smooth and comfortable to play, just like the Duesenbergs. So yeah, I think this and the Duesenberg, which are maybe not coincidentally my two most valuable electric guitars, these both play incredibly fast and well. So the thing, yeah, with Yamaha, as you guys may know, Japanese guitar company, right? They're very high standards for all their guitars, but this one especially being made in Japan, right? It's the fit and finish is amazing on it. Again, just can't emphasize enough this beautiful blue finish here, which I know I have that blue finish on the Gretsch as well. I think they call it Hudson Sky on the Gretsch guitar model that I got. So yeah, this is a figured maple top right here, and the back and the sides I believe are mahogany, and it's chambered mahogany. So this being the second iteration of the Revstar, the first iteration was not chambered, I believe, so this was chambered. So it's a little bit weight relieved. Still though, this is actually the heaviest guitar in my collection, in my electric guitar collection. This is like it's a little bit heavier than my Strat. My Strat's maybe 7.5. This is maybe like 7.8 pounds, I want to say, so it's a little bit heavier than my Stratocaster. So it is chambered, yes, but it's still like the heaviest guitar in my collection because I don't like heavy guitars, so all my guitars are under 8 pounds. This comes closest to 8 pounds though, but still, it's not like too heavy or anything like that. It's got like the nice curves that Stratocasters have. I really like the Revstar shape. I mean, this is a really comfortable shape. It is a double cutaway shape. It's reminiscent of a Gibson SG, but it's actually its own thing as well. So the Gibson SG is like more symmetrical like this, so this is asymmetrical. But yeah, it's like, this is just really nicely done. It's like, look at the neck, right? It's so smoothly polished and everything. And yeah, it's chambered mahogany, and this neck here as well, maple neck, and rosewood fretboard. I'm probably Indian rosewood, doesn't exactly specify what kind of rosewood, but yeah. Yeah, so the specs of this guitar, so this is Yamaha, so they tend to do a lot of things in-house. So yeah, this is Yamaha headstock, and you can see Yamaha tuners here. Also you can see the made in Japan here, because this is made in Japan. And yeah, It's got a 5-way pickup selector switch, even though there's only 2 pickups. You might be wondering how that's possible. That's because, yeah, usually 2 pickups will have 3-way pickup selector switch, but Yamaha added 2 extra positions, which is essentially putting the other pickup out of phase. So they're like 2 extra sounds. So like the neck and middle one would be like the bridge is out of phase with the neck, and the bridge in the middle one would be the neck is out of phase with the bridge. So it's the 2 extra sounds there. In addition to that, they have an additional focus switch here. So you have a push-pull knob right here. So you have a push-pull right here, which this will increase the mids, and it will cut the lows a little bit, and it'll cut the highs a little bit actually. So this actually makes the tone a little bit more muddy in my opinion, so I don't use it too much. But with these TV Jones Zoomtron pickups, it actually kind of works fairly well. It's a little bit of a volume boost as well. You can think of it like a mid boost switch. So yeah, this push-pull pot is like a mid boost switch. So pretty cool. I do use that with these pickups. So originally it came with the Yamaha pickups. This one, I don't like the Yamaha pickups that much because it was like too modern, like too high gain for me. Like, not that they were bad pickups or anything, it's just that I don't like those kind of pickups. I don't like modern pickups. It's kind of like the type of sound you would get from a high output humbucker or an EMG or like those pickups like those. Yeah, it's not that they're bad pickups or anything, it's just not for me. So I replaced the Yamaha guitar design pickups with these TV Jones Zoomtrons, which are Zoomtrons are essentially like humbucking versions of the Gretsch Dynasonics. And Gretsch Dynasonics are like, yeah, they're kind of like the Lollar Goldfoils, honestly, from my Godin. They sound kind of like that. So they got more clarity, dynamics than your typical P90 pickup, but they're higher output than your typical Strat pickup. So yeah, I would say they're like, Dynasonics are kind of like the Goldfoils, like they're higher output than a Strat, but not as dark sounding as a P90. They got more clarity and dynamics. Well, these are like humbucking versions of the Dynasonics, so they have less hum. Which is even better, you know, and they still got the dynamics and clarity and punch. So I really do like these TV Jones Zoomtron pickups, really nice. Also cool looking as well. This neck radius, I think, is a 12-inch or 14-inch radius neck. Actually, I think it's actually 14-inch radius, I believe. It's pretty flat. And it's actually really fast playing, really smooth. Really like it. Everything's like perfectly done. This neck really like fresh, all polished really nicely and everything. So yeah, of course, you know, made in Japan and everything. Also, the neck is carbon fiber. It's got 2 carbon fiber rods kind of reinforcing it, so it's very, very stiff. On the Japanese version, which is this version, there's also 2 more carbon fiber rods in the body, adding additional like stiffness and sustain, I guess. And they also go through like an additional acoustic, what's it called, IRA technology, acoustic resonance They apply specific vibrations to part of the guitar to make it feel like played in and stuff. That's another thing they do on the Japanese models. So yeah, I guess it's pretty cool as well. This is a hardtail, so no tailpiece here. Well, it's got tailpiece here actually, but it doesn't wrap around the body. No tremolo is what I want to say. Yeah, no tremolo here, which is fine. I didn't really want one for this. But yeah, overall the pickups cost an extra $400, so it's like $2,400 for this guitar, which is quite a bit. But hey, this guitar is amazing. I mean, looks amazing, plays amazing. Really, I don't have too many extra. I don't have anything bad to say about this one. An output jack right here. Really nothing bad to say about this one. I guess it could be lighter. Like, it's obviously not as light as with the Godin, but even like the Duesenberg, like, yeah, the Duesenberg's still lighter than this. But the Duesenberg is a semi-hollow. This is a chambered, but not a semi-hollow. So, anyways, yeah, I would say probably equivalent in quality to my Duesenberg, but not as light as my Duesenberg. And just as fast playing as the Duesenberg, I would say. Yeah, just incredible. You can shred like crazy on this thing. Super flat and super easy to play. Neck and everything is super comfortable. It reminds me of the Gretsch player's jet that I got before as well, which was also made in Japan. Also had a really fast playing neck. Except this one looks a lot cleaner than the Gretsch. There's no Bigsby or anything, just a lot cleaner design. So anyways, the Yamaha Revstar Professional RSP20 in Moonlight Blue. Very, very beautiful guitar. I guess it would have been cool if the back was also like done in blue as well. They didn't really care about the back at all. But yeah, just the front, it looks like yeah, even my Gretsch, you know, you can see the back is like all quilted blue maple and everything. This one, no, not so much. But oh well, still a really beautiful, nice looking guitar. So anyways, Yamaha Revstar Professional. That's so far the very last guitar that I've got in this collection. So that's it, guys. Let me know what you guys think of my guitar collection. But for now, I'm going to do a jam, and I'm going to be using all my guitars on the jam. Just going to go through, just going to play a loop, and then I'm just going to play a little bit of each of my guitars in the loop, so you guys can kind of see, you know, sound, the differences between the different guitars, and it's just a cool thing, right? Just want to play a nice jam that has all the guitars in it, so you guys can kind of hear the differences between all of them and see the differences as well. So this, guys, stay tuned.